This week, we highlight soybean crop conditions, export sales, and near-term weather trends as we prepare to enter the fourth quarter of 2021. Hi, I'm Kat Sullivan, filling in today for Brian Basting, bringing you this week's soybean market update. With harvest underway and the quarterly stocks report being released at 11 a.m. Central Time, we have a few key elements to present to you today. To start off, we have some numbers that should look familiar to you in the soybean crop conditions report. Overall, the conditions were unchanged for the week. Kansas, Illinois, Kentucky, and Pennsylvania had a drop in condition ratings, while South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Ohio saw modest improvement. Harvest progress continued this week. We saw progression improve to 16% from 6% last week, which is slightly below last year's week-to-week gain, but ahead of the 5-year average. Harvest progress is following previous trends and should double over the next 2 weeks. The weather forecast, courtesy of T-Storm Weather, shows temperatures forecasted to stay in the 60s, 70s, and 80s across much of the central U.S. over roughly the next 2 weeks. In terms of precipitation, a ½ inch to 1½ inches is likely in the central, southern plains, and western Corn Belt Friday through Saturday, and a ¼ inch to ¾ inch is predicted in the eastern Corn Belt from Saturday through Monday. A much drier period then follows for at least 5 to 7 days to improve conditions for planting and harvesting. Export sales this week were not exactly noteworthy, but I find these charts to be helpful. As we look at the data showing where soybean export sales stand this year against previous years, 21 and 22 looks to be comparable to many previous years, with the exception of last year's record export levels. Shipments, however, are nearly as low as the 13-14 marketing year and below last year by more than 20 million bushels. Continue to check in with your advanced trading advisor for regular updates on demand. At 11 a.m. Central, the September quarterly stocks report will be released. History shows the possibility for a change in futures price following the release of the report. The first chart shows the change in futures price following this report over the last 6 years. As you can see, most of the years showed an increase in price for soybean futures, though this is obviously not guaranteed. The last 4 years have shown a decent amount of price movement, including downward movement in 2018. The second chart shows quarterly report futures changes over the last couple of years. And as you probably remember, this last year has been especially exciting across multiple commodities. Volatility is expected in this report too. Remember, as a hedger, a report outcome should not overwhelm you. Take advantage of every opportunity with a marketing plan that leaves you prepared regardless of market direction. We will return to our regular video schedule next week with Brian returning to reveal the results of today's report, as well as updated progress on market factors. Have a great week, and remember to subscribe to our channel for direct access to each week's video. Thank you.